What's up, TM Nation? So I've been testing these Earfun Air Pro 4 Plus earbuds for the past few weeks, and I have to say it, guys, Earfun has done it again. For under $100, looking back at all of the earbuds I've unboxed and reviewed this year, I think that these might be the budget kings of 2025 so far. But here's the thing, guys, the market has gotten crazy competitive since the original Air Pro 4s dropped, so stick with me throughout this video because I'm gonna break down exactly what you need to know to decide if these are worth your hard-earned cash or if you should look elsewhere. Now, before we get too deep into the video, let me give you guys the quick highlights. With the earbuds, you're getting dual drivers. That's a balanced armature driver plus a 10mm dynamic driver. They're packing Bluetooth 6.0, which you don't get on many earbuds at this juncture. They are compatible with the LDAC codec. You can get up to 8 hours of use on a charge with the earbuds, and that's with ANC on. And you can get all of that plus what I'll talk about later on in this video for $79.99 at the time of the video. So if you're on the fence, I would say go ahead and pick them up and don't miss out on that savings. Inside of the box, you get the normal stuff to include a USB Type-C cable for charging and several sets of different sized ear tips. And first, taking a look at the case itself, it does have a nice curved design with rounded corners that feels really good in the hands. It's definitely not the thinnest case that I've ever tried, but at the same time, it is pocketable, so you should be able to throw it in your purse, your pocket, or anything of that nature without it bulging out too much. But there are a couple of things that I do want to mention about the case. One is going to be that it scratches easily, and second, it's really a fingerprint magnet, so if those are issues for you, keep this in mind. The earbuds themselves are super minimal. The design in general gives you that subtle branding that doesn't scream "look at me," and in comparison to the Air Pro 4, they are slightly larger because the Air Pro 4 Plus housed that extra balanced armature driver, but overall for me, that doesn't translate into a different fit in the ears, as I'm able to wear both pairs comfortably for 5 to 6 hours at a time without any issues. Now moving on to more of the tech specs, and this is where things get interesting. With these, like I said earlier, you're getting Bluetooth 6.0, which is an upgrade from the 5.4 that you get on the previous model. Plus you get access to pretty much all of the high-res audio codecs that you can think of. These are compatible with LDAC, like I said earlier. You get APX Adaptive, APX Lossless, and you also get Auracast for future proofing, which is honestly really impressive, especially at this price point. The battery life is solid. Again, you're gonna get up to 8 hours of use on a charge with the earbuds, and that's with ANC on, and you can get a total of 36, including the case. In addition to that, you do get wireless charging with the case, which is really good to have at this price point, as well as fast charging that will give you up to 3 hours worth of use from only a 10-minute charge. You don't get any physical buttons on these earbuds because everything is going to be controlled by touch, but I do want to mention that you do have the ability to customize your taps inside of the app. So if you want to adjust what your single, double tap, triple tap, and long presses control, you do have that option. Also, if you find that you're triggering your touch controls when you don't want to, you do have the ability to turn the controls completely off if you choose to, and you'll just have to control your tracks, your volume, and everything else directly from your device. Moving on and touching on how these have performed for me in the real world, so far I've used them for everything that I use my earbuds for on a normal basis, which includes leisure listening, light video editing, some exercise of course, to include walking, jogging, and jumping rope. I do appreciate the fact that they are IP55 rated, meaning that they can handle heavy sweat without any issues, and even if you happen to get caught out in the rain wearing them, they'll handle that with no problem. For exercise, they stay in place pretty well for a pair of earbuds that don't have any ear hooks or wings, but I found that the little ridges that they have on the insides help them hug my ears better, so even when I start to sweat, they don't fall out. Now, I did have to reposition them a couple of times while jumping rope, but again, they were pretty secure. The noise cancellation with them is genuinely impressive. They do have the adaptive ANC that will adjust in strength based on your environment, and this setting also helps with the overall battery life. But if you want to control the strength yourself, you do have that option. With them, you get 4 different levels plus a slider for fine tuning. Based on my experience with the earbuds so far, using them both indoors and outdoors, the ANC handles low frequency rumbles like plane, car, and train engines really well, and these are also better at suppressing voices than what I got with their original Air Pro 4s. Moving on to the sound quality, and this is where these get a big upgrade, fam. That balanced armature driver makes a real difference. The treble is crispy, detailed, and way more precise than the original Air Pro 4s. To my ears, it's got this slightly metallic quality to it that's especially noticeable on hi-hats and cymbals, which is something that I'm really able to notice because I listen to a lot of hip-hop, R&B, and reggae. The bass is still rich and punchy without being overwhelming. Vocals sound fuller thanks to some nice lower mid boosting, and the soundstage feels more open and airy compared to the previous model. In terms of the call quality, I do think that it's solid in quiet conditions. In my testing, it came through loud and clear, but in noisier environments, I did get some occasional distortion due to the algorithm that the earbuds are using to try and reduce that noise going on around you while focusing on your speech. But as always, I did take some samples just so that you guys can judge for yourselves. Let's check them out.
All right, guys, so right now I have the earbuds paired to my iPhone 17 Pro, and as you can see, the audio that you're hearing is coming from the microphones on them. Right now, the room is relatively quiet, but I will do my background noise test in just a moment. Give me a second. And now I have some simulated background noise playing in the background.
And this part of the test is aimed at seeing how well the microphones on these earbuds
Can go ahead and focus on my speech while rejecting some of that noise. So let me know what you guys think. Are they doing a pretty good job, or did you expect better?
The transparency with these is also decent in my opinion. It's nowhere near the quality that you'll get with the AirPods Pro, for example, because these do tend to pick up my voice and muffle it in the process. But if you're somebody that doesn't heavily rely on this feature, I think it'll be more than adequate for most people. The connectivity with these has been rock solid so far, and I've had no issues connecting two different devices simultaneously and switching between them when I need to. But I do want to mention that the implementation with these is not as seamless as what you'll get with the AirPods Pro, for example, because with these, it's not an automatic switching, and whatever you're listening to is gonna pause while you switch over. And you're gonna have to manually start or resume whatever you were listening to or watching on your second device when you connect it. Now let me go ahead and break down the good and not so good about these. On the plus side, you get many different customization options inside of the app. You do get wireless charging with the case, great battery life, solid active noise cancellation, and compatibility with several higher definition codecs, as I mentioned earlier. On the downside, as I mentioned earlier, the case does scratch pretty easily. The transparency mode does have some occlusion issues, and if you're someone who prefers physical buttons on their earbuds, these are not going to give you that. So to answer the question of if these are worth the $99 price tag, the market is a lot more competitive than it was when the original Air Pro 4s launched. Today you've got the OnePlus Buds 4, the Soundcore Liberty 5, and a bunch of different really solid options that are all fighting for the budget crown of earbuds between $50 and $100. But here's my take. If you prioritize sound quality and customization, the Air Pro 4 Plus are hard to beat. That dual driver setup delivers treble and detail you just simply don't get from single driver earbuds at this price. And although the OnePlus Buds 4 might have better transparency and swipe controls, the earphones give you wireless charging and more high-res codecs. They're certainly not perfect, and no earbuds are that I've come across, but for the money, you're getting premium features, excellent sound quality, and the kind of customization that usually costs twice as much. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you team Earfun, and do these look like a worthy upgrade, or are you looking at picking up something else in this price range? But other than that, guys, as always, I appreciate you coming through and hanging out with your boy for a while. Please do me a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe before you get on out of here if you haven't already, as it does help the channel out immensely. But until next time, I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.